Back from the break. Okay, now, what starts to happen if you're doing a 16th note pattern? What can happen is, what happens if you put your right hand, say, over to either the floor tom or the cymbal? So you get that. Now, I hope the ride cymbal's not drowning that out. I'm going to put my right hand onto my knee and play the same thing. So here it is. Okay, so 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1. See what I'm doing there? So it's heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a... so on. This also reminds me of a tune, a Frank Zappa song from the Man from Utopia album from 1983 with Chad Wackerman on drums, and there's a tune there called We Are Not Alone. Now, don't quote me on this. I played it a long time ago with my old band, The Instrumental. We used to do that tune. And as I recall, it was like, no, 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 da da dum. There it is again. So what happens is there's your split ride to a certain degree. It comes from this. Move the right hand. And then look what you can get. Now, the first person I heard doing that was Steve Gadd back in the 70s with Chick Corea and that kind of thing. From that, you can start doing other things. If you play the hi-hat on all four, 1, 2, 3, 4, you go back to this naturally occurring thing where if you play right, left, left, right, left, left, as a triplet, nifty. Okay, so there's lots of things like that that you can do. Now, I'm going to go back to John French for a second with Captain Beefheart because it's still fresh in my mind from the gigs we did, Lisa and I did a month ago, in the sense that we worked these things up, and next thing you know, you've got these wonderful things. And for open hi-hat, if I'm going to do a show on open hi-hat, from now on, I'm going to talk John French, okay? John Drumbo French, because he was just brilliant with it. Okay, so there you have it. So that. Actually, sorry, that was a little lick. It's mine. It's not exactly what John French did on electricity, but it seems to fit nicely. It's our little version of it. Okay, so. So on and so forth. Okay. Open hi-hat is the name. Melbourne Musos is the game. Okay, so I better start wrapping all this sort of business up. I've done as much as I can over essentially what is going to be 2 episodes on the hi-hat. Okay. Now, this is on my little travelling PDP kit, which I love dearly. My monstrosity gigantic kit is just out of shot over there. But what I wanted to do here is really just pare it down to basics. I've got just one microphone on the hi-hat itself, so it's going to be prominent in the mix, I hope. This hi-hat is the most important thing, apart from your snare drum, pretty much. It's so versatile and it can give you so much colour, okay? You could do a whole gig, really, with a bass drum, a snare drum and a hi-hat. Add a ride cymbal. You'll be fine. I've done plenty of gigs like that. I've gone out with a kit just like this. A typical 5-piece, 1 cymbal, 1 ride and a crash there. Not even the China over here. I haven't even hit that yet, have I? I don't know. Well, there. There it is. I've hit it. So what it is I've gone there and it's not even room enough for that. Okay. My overhead camera up there can see the carpet, my gigging carpet. Okay. The whole band's had to fit on that in some of the restaurant gigs I've done or the coffee lounges and all that. So you can do a whole gig just with bass drum, snare drum and hi-hat, a cymbal, okay? But those 3 will get you by and look what you can do. If I just take a rock beat. Going. So there it is. Okay, the hi-hat.